Hey everybody, here again at the WeWork to talk about small businesses, and I think it's important to get you in touch with people who've been there, done that, and are doing it again in different ways, how it can relate to you in your business and how you move forward.
I'm scared now, 7 years in, but there wasn't that much fear at the beginning. It was kind of mind over matter. You have to have something unique to offer, something different, something special, something that's going to separate you from everybody else. Hi, my name is Pete, and I'm an owner of Little Baby's Ice Cream, which is a small batch, handmade, super premium ice cream and non-dairy frozen dessert company, born in Philadelphia and now based in Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C.
Okay, so do you have a role model?
Yes, I think I have many. I don't know that, frankly, any of them are in the food or small business worlds. But the two that I think of are both musicians, which is kind of my background.
Oh, nice.
And one is John Coltrane.
Oh.
And one is David Byrne.
Very cool. Oh gosh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very neat. I think there was a movie with David Byrne did like the whole.
True Stories.
Yes, it was
it's
true.
Like my favorite.
Yeah.
I saw his new musical off Broadway yesterday.
Oh, really? How was it?
It was actually terrible.
Really?
But that's one of the reasons that I'm really inspired by him, because he's not afraid to fail.
So why ice cream?
Well, for me, I guess as I kind of just referenced, my background is not in food or in business. My background really is in music and art. Yeah. So I did that for part of my life, and after I said I didn't want to do that anymore, through a weird kind of series of happenstances, I came to recognize ice cream as both kind of a blank canvas for creativity and imagination, something that you can really always mess around with and throw new things and create new unexpected versions of. But because it's generally speaking frozen milk and sugar, it's really tasty, and so that leads to the other part of ice cream, which is that I think of it kind of as like a universal equalizer. It's something that brings people together, it's something that makes people happy, and thus I think it is also a great platform for subversion and introducing people to new ideas or kind of disrupting their everyday.
Yeah, that's cool. So like, were you hit by like a ice cream?
Well, I mean, like everybody else, I've loved ice cream my whole life. That's something else pretty unique about ice cream, is that for so many people, it's something that we all have some kind of memory or nostalgia for. It's something that like most people can relate to in some type of way. I grew up my whole life, I've loved ice cream. And then I got like a at-home ice cream machine for Christmas one year, and that's how I started kind of messing around with it. But I would say that the bolt of lightning for me was actually a visit to an ice cream place in San Francisco called Humphrey Slocum.
Oh, cool.
That really just kind of tore my brain apart, and really made clear to me everything that I just said. It really made clear that ice cream could both bring people together and get people excited. So I started this company with two friends who similarly had backgrounds primarily in music and not in business or food. And so I feel that a big part of the reason that we were successful is because we didn't necessarily know what we were getting into, and we went about it in a pretty not backwards, but off-center way, right? We were approaching it the way we would approach a band or an art project or something, except it happened to be a tricycle with ice cream flavors with hot sauce in them that we were bringing out to like the end of concerts in the middle of the night. That's sort of how we began our company in 2011, and then kind of quickly realized that there was a much greater audience than people with funny haircuts and tattoos. I'm scared now, 7 years in, but there wasn't that much fear at the beginning. It was kind of mind over matter. We kind of got into this a bit ahead, shortly before the Philadelphia mobile food craze really kicked off. So it was, and before there was really much of an ice cream culture in Philadelphia.
Yes.
I mean, of course, there's Bassett's, which is the longest continuously operating ice cream company in America, and there's Franklin Fountain, who are doing their own thing in a kind of a brilliant way, I think.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, you know, right now there's maybe 6 or 7 super small batch craft ice cream companies. That did not exist when we started, so it was pretty unique at the time, and that was really exciting to me. It was like everybody I know is in a band or has an art show, but nobody I know has an ice cream tricycle. You know, when we started, we had no employees. We were doing everything ourselves, and we were on, at first, a single tricycle. And, actually, that first summer, we were kind of doing it on nights and weekends, and all had day jobs. I was working for the mural arts program at the time.
Oh, really?
Now we have several leases. We have a bunch of employees that rely on us for their livelihood. We're relying on our livelihoods as well in the company. We have, I think a pretty positive reputation and a lot of goodwill that we care a lot about and want to protect and maintain. Yep. And I think that we are, contributing something different and positive to the world around us at various different scales. And I don't want to lose that. Yeah. All that is really important to me. Yeah. And so now the fears and concerns, it's all kinds of stuff I never thought I would imagine. It's payroll and are we paying too much for insurance, and what's the dairy commodity index gonna do, and all these sort of, and how to negotiate leases and things like that, right? The things that 6 or 7 years ago were pretty unimaginable to me, but now that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. Ice cream in Philadelphia is a wildly and severely seasonal industry, which is hands down, I think, the hardest component about what we do, and it kind of seeps into every single nook and cranny of the business. Just like how do we keep the lights on and be an operating business year round when it's really 5 to 7 months, say, is when you're actually really selling ice cream.
For your season, your strong season.
Yeah, I mean, sure, some people buy ice cream in the winter, but it's never going to be in January what it is in June,
Sure.
And so we are just now coming out of our 5th or 6th winter, and it's not that much easier, to be totally honest. Was we expanded to Baltimore this past December, so at the very end of 2016, we opened very small stall in a brand new food hall down there that we share actually with a micro bakery called Black Sugar. So it's 2 distinct companies with 2 different brands and products sharing, I believe it's 168 square feet.
Wow.
In this pretty bustling brand new food hall. And that required us to scramble to find some resources that we did not have. And of course, it also opened in December, which is I think I've actually had nightmares about that in the past about opening an ice cream shop in December. So that was a pretty big gamble. It's a new market. It's with a new business partner. It's in a new city. It's opening in the off season. We had not actually fundraised to actually properly be able to execute that. So that was a pretty big leap for us. But I think so far anyhow, it's going really well for us. So that was a gamble that I'm proud to have made. Making really, really good ice cream is simply not enough to be successful. Just I used to play drums. Being a really good drummer is, for my money, it doesn't really get you that far. There's a whole lot of other kind of ancillary components that are all combined to create something that's new and worthwhile and different. There are a lot of ways we've adapted, both as a business and certainly personally over the years. Personally, my role has completely changed a number of times, right? For the first couple of years, or for the first entire summer, I don't think there was ever a scoop of Little Baby's ice cream sold that I wasn't personally there, either scooping it or standing next to the person that was scooping it. And now I basically don't ever touch or see money or touch or see ice cream, right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm completely removed from that, transactional part.
Yep.
So that's been a real learning curve, right? And every time we do something new, my role in that is kind of different than the last time because we have more people to help us or are aware of different resources that can step in and help us, et cetera. And as a company, we've adapted a whole lot too. So, for example, we started with a single ice cream tricycle that like a sculptor friend of mine had helped us build in 2011. In 2012, we got 3 more. So we currently have a small fleet of 4 custom-built ice cream tricycles. And our kind of business approach for a number of years was to deploy those things as often as possible, like everywhere, right? So that was the thing we most frequently heard from people on the street is you guys are everywhere.
Yeah.
I would constantly get that from people. It can be really hard when it's more than just you and one other person to like actually, whether it's a new flavor that we want to collaborate with somebody to create and then make sure that it fits all the Bayesian qualities and then create a flavor sign and then get it out to all the shops on the same day and then tell the world about it and then track sales or something. Like we're just kind of putting a process to that over the last year or so that really works, but it's like pretty stunning how difficult it can be to get all those kind of distinct pieces to line up and shift and move together. If you're starting a business or a food operation or whatever it is, I think generally speaking, people need to think more about what they're doing before they do it. Just really, really, really like go to the woods for the day by yourself, maybe for 10 days in a row or something, and really think about what it is that you're gonna put out into the world with your name on it and why and how you're going to do it and what it means and how people will receive it and what its impact is going to be on your life and other people's lives and the earth and all that kind of stuff. I think it kind of ties back to what we were talking about before, like being a really good cook is not really enough, there's gotta be both for a lot of reasons, but I mean in a business way, there's a lot of good cooks. You have to have something unique to offer, something different, something special, something that's gonna separate you from everybody else. But that distinction, that differentiation is also probably that special nugget that makes it really so meaningful to you, that's going to keep you motivated and engaged and excited, because once that goes away, then you're kind of just stuck holding the bag with this business that you don't necessarily want. And I have not experienced that, but I don't know what we would do if I just gave up on caring about Little Baby's ice cream, right? Just like the amount of debt and responsibility and contracts and relationships that I have built up around this, like it's like a full life integration here. And so the good news for me is that I'm still completely committed to it and excited about it. But I think that's in part because I just obsessed over it for a very long time before starting it.